Today, I will introduce you to deepdub, and I will talk about the different challenges and opportunities in using AI and specifically AI voices for localizing entertainment content. But first, let me introduce myself first a little bit. My name is Oz Krakowski. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for deepdub, and in this role, I'm responsible for our marketing strategy as well as our sales, business development. I've been an entrepreneur for the past almost 10 years, so this is not my first startup. But most of all, and most relevant for what I do at deepdub, I'm a big fan of movies and TV. And that definitely comes into play with deepdub, and I think we'll bring here a slightly different perspective on voice AI in this presentation compared to the other presentations we've seen so far. Let's start with a few words about what we do. So we aim to bridge the language barrier and cultural gaps of entertainment experiences to international audiences. We developed an end-to-end platform alternative to the traditional dubbing services, whereas our main advantage is the extensive use we make of AI and deep learning technologies. And before I go any further, I'd like to show a quick video clip that demonstrates the capabilities of our technology. Notice how the language of the speaker changes, but the general voice attributes stay the same as you're watching this video clip, and I really hope everything works. So let's play it and see that.
Since the dawn of time, l'humain est obsédé par la vitesse. Und für einige ist es eine lebenslange Sucht. Conoce Sepa Eisenberg. Es una leyenda en el mundo de las motocicletas ultra rápidas, land speed records. But his next challenge is a feat que beaucoup considèrent comme impossible. Er wird versuchen, ein Auto 200 Meilen pro Stunde auf den electrónico penda incendios. Para que se lo logre, necesita encontrar new ways to go faster.
So yes, that was a glimpse into the capabilities of our platform. And now I'd like to share a little about some of the challenges we're facing in our work and what are the opportunities that are introduced with it. And first, let's take a second to think about the relationship between content and language. When you think about it, every content is always created in a specific language. And even this presentation is delivered in English, and the reason it is in English and not in any other language is so it would be accessible to a wider global audience. But is that always the case? Is it really the solution to have every content created in English? And we already know that the answer to that is simply no. Take books, for example. They are translated to multiple languages. Another great example is news articles that are translated to different languages to make them accessible to local audiences. Local audiences require content to be converted to their native language. And the same applies to other types of content, such as movies, TV, ads, podcasts, game, etc. Let's talk about the amount of content. The amount of entertainment content is not only enormous, but also growing at an accelerated pace with every passing day. The global resources that are involved in localizing entertainment content are just simply insufficient. Entertainment content is not limited only to films and TV. We have more than 150,000 hours of sports broadcast annually in the US alone, and over 500,000 hours of active podcasts in more than 100 languages. Staggering numbers. More than 1,500 films are created annually in English alone, and thousands of TV episodes added every year, from drama series, animated, reality TV, documentaries. Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is just a lot of content all around. Not to mention, in some cases, the quality of the localized content is just extremely poor. We're all familiar with the old Kung Fu movies where the dubbed voice had very little to do with the actual movie. And on top of that, some places have no access to the same entertainment experience that we have. Consider the following example.
Здорово, коли не шутишь. Откуда такие красивые нарисовались? Если хотите зайти, сдавайте ножи и волыны, вытирайте ноги. Сами кто будете?
Yeah, believe it or not, some audiences around the world are only able to experience some of the content with that level of poor quality. The platform that we developed at deepdub combines advanced AI and deep learning technologies, as well as industry-specific optimizations in order to localize content at very high quality. And this is a bird's eye view of our solution. Our engine processes the input audio and video and generates the proper localized audio in the target languages. The use of AI and deep learning technologies in our solution enables us to offer a unique entertainment experience where the original voices and emotions are retained into the target languages, but it also allows us to reduce the dependency on the availability of people. Which also translates, among other things, into shorter turnaround times and helps also reduce the total costs of productions. But it's not easy to achieve all that, and there are many technical challenges in the process. And in the next few slides, I'd like to share a few of those challenges. First thing we usually need to address is the translation of the text. However, translation cannot be a literal translation. A simple phrase such as "let's party" becomes much longer in other languages, and the adaptation needs to consider that. Idioms and jokes need to be properly converted based on context. The phrase "hold your horses" has nothing to do really with real horses, right? And finally, the text needs to be properly adapted. In this example, we need to change the names of places properly based on the target language or based on the local culture. Moving on to the quality of the generated voice. Currently, most of the work in the academic world, as well as in the industry, doesn't support high quality audio generation. It's just that it's mostly not required for applications like Amazon Alexa or car navigation. However, in our case, we just can't deliver a low quality audio track for a movie. And when I say low quality, I mean anything that's under 48 kilohertz. Studio quality output for us is a mandatory.
Leftovers for who?
For me. Wait till you see what college food tastes like.
There's more in the oven. Give it over. Any feedback from your panel interview?
Not yet.
About the judgeship?
Yeah, they don't tell you what was said after you leave the room. Well, you'd make a great judge.
Yeah, this is another challenge when approaching different types of content. And this is, how do you split the source into separate tracks that are easy to work with? And in this example, we see several characters that are discussing over dinner in a famous scene from the TV series Blue Blood. And in the background, we can hear the sounds of silverware, the background noise, and we need to split the content into separate voice tracks while isolating the music, the effects, the background noise. And after generation of the AI voices in the target language, we mix everything back together. Talk about the challenge of modeling audio. This challenge of modeling audio for voice synthesis is discussed extensively in the academia and is known to be a difficult task. And in order to accomplish a superb audio style transferability, we need to take into account different voice attributes, such as pitch, tone, loudness, tempo, but also other attributes such as emotions, inflections, and even accent and age. And we have invested significant amount of research in order to achieve state-of-the-art voice transferability that requires not more than a few minutes of voice samples of the original character. And finally, we can connect all the blocks together. Video is received, goes through source separation and into the pre-processing block where it is being transcribed, adapted to the target language, and tagged before it proceeds to style modeling. Once modeling is completed, the AI voices are generated and mixed back with the music, effects, and background noise, and sent back to the customer ready for distribution in the target region. My last video clip in this presentation is of a reporter from a news channel in Israel. It's called N12 Israel News. This recording was recorded during a news coverage about the company about a month ago. While watching this video clip, keep in mind that the reporter was recorded speaking Hebrew alone. All the rest of the languages that you hear are AI voices.
אז התבקשתי לדבר סתם ככה כמה משפטים בעברית כדי לבדוק את הפיתוח. And now, let's see how deepdub is making me speak in French or Spanish and without even an accent. Sempre me interessava ouvir como eu sou quando falo idiomas que eu realmente não falo. בוא נראה את התוצאה. Otro take? Rolling. Me pidieron hablar otra vez. Alors, on m'a demandé de parler comme ça, quelques phrases en hébreu, juste pour vérifier si, pardon, to hear how I sounded. Me pidieron decir algunas frases en hebreo pour vérifier comment ça donne si je parle français ou espagnol. תמיד עניין אותי לשמוע את עצמי בשפות שאני לא באמת דובר without an accent. Maintenant, voyons voir comment deepdub me fait parler em idiomas diferentes.
Yeah, if you notice, this video actually contains all the bloopers as part of it. And that's all, folks, for now. I look forward for the follow-up discussions in the breakout rooms. Feel free to reach out to us through our website, Twitter, or via email. And if you had any questions in the Q&A, happy to answer everything in the breakout rooms that we're going to right after I pass it back to Dominic.